name's Connie Gross, and I'm an infant and early childhood mental health consultant for the Children's Resource Center in Bowling Green, Ohio. And today's parent chat is about prenatal stress. Before we dive into this topic, it's important to know that this video is for educational purposes. It is not meant to make any expecting mom feel more stressed or feel guilty about any of the circumstances she might find herself in. This video is really to help us understand what some of the potential risks are, and then some strategies to help mitigate some of those risks. Stress is a normal part of everyone's life. And when we think about prenatal stress and its effects, we're really thinking more about chronic stress, not the type of stress that happens when maybe we've had a bad day or we burned dinner. Our car didn't start. Those types of stresses happen all the time to everyone, and generally we have the coping skills to kind of deal with that stress. We're talking more about chronic stress when we're thinking about how it affects mom and baby. And chronic stress means that it's a stress that is endured over a period of time and possibly is a type of stress that mom is not able to escape. So, feeling that stress maybe a good portion or all of the day. When we think about effects of stress during pregnancy, we have to think about what the effects are for mom and baby. For mothers, we might see an increase in depression or anxiety. We might see an increase in sleeping problems. This is different from like feeling uncomfortable while resting. That is common in most pregnancies. But this is sleeping problems that extend past just discomfort in finding a comfortable position, but maybe the inability to sleep or feeling like you're sleeping too much. We might see an increase in addiction problems or possibly poor postpartum care, which is that care a mother receives after she's birthed her baby. For the baby, some potential effects for prenatal stress are premature birth, and that means the baby is born um, prior to their expected due date. We might see a low birth weight, could see some positive cognitive impairments, maybe some behavioral issues, and we might see a lowered immunity. So, what can expecting moms do? Well, first, we need to identify the source of the stress. Some stressors can be managed by making changes, like evaluating stressful friendships. If you recognize that every time you spend time with a certain friend, maybe even they're not mistreating you in any way, but maybe they're just really negative. And when you spend time with them, you end up feeling some kind of negative thinking too. You might evaluate how much time you spend with that person, especially just during this time where you're prone to maybe feeling more tired and maybe having some hormonal surges that can cause some increased emotional responses as well. So, evaluating friendships. You might avoid social media. It's easy to get on social media and see snapshots of pictures and compare, people who maybe have the perfect life or perfect children. We need to keep in mind that social media are snapshots of what people want us to see for the most part. It's not necessarily an accurate picture of what their day to day lives are like. But you might consider limiting or trying to avoid social media so that you're not caught up in that type of thinking. You could consider limiting the news. Oftentimes, news has some kind of scary or overwhelming types of things going on around the world. And so, limiting the news could help maybe you feel better able to cope with some of the things that you're just dealing with on a day to day basis. You might consider evaluating your priorities. During this time when you're expecting, you may have to decide that you can't say yes to everything. Maybe this is a time you're going to have to take a break from the PTO. Or maybe it's not the best time to coach Little League. Even though you might want to do those things as a way of taking care of yourself and then your baby, you need to be able to kind of set some limits around what you're capable of doing and recognizing that some things really have to be done. Other things, maybe like the dishes, could still be there tomorrow. And so you can take better care of your body when you kind of give yourself permission to say no or prioritize what needs to be done. And then the last one in this section is asking for help, which is hard to do. Lots of grown-ups don't like doing that, especially moms. But again, this might be a time where maybe we need some extra help with certain things. Maybe we need some help with the kids. Maybe we can ask grandparents if they could spend a little extra time with them. Maybe we want to ask our friends if they can help out with the carpool a little bit more so you can have some time to rest. So, thinking about what are some things that other people could do for you. Maybe it's just asking your partner to help you more around the house during this time, even though they might not do it exactly the way you would do it or the way you would best like it done. Asking for help can be a stress reliever. There may be some stressors that are difficult to change or limit. And in these cases, expecting moms can counteract some of the effects by practicing self care. So you might have looked at that last list and been like, yeah, I'm in a stressful situation and I can't do any of those things. There's really no limits I can put in place for that. There's no one right now I feel like can help me or something like that. Um, Thinking about some of those situations, here are some things you could do, even if you're maybe not able to escape the chronic stress. Here are some ways you can kind of combat their effects. Practice mindfulness. Um, Mindfulness, there's lots and lots of resources online now about mindfulness. There's lots of free scripts or even people reading. You can YouTube mindfulness practices. And so there's lots of options for how you could maybe take just a few minutes. They can oftentimes be 5 minutes or less to help your body just really relax and take some deep breaths. The second tip there is taking deep breaths. So that helps to regulate a lot of your body systems. So even in just the moment, taking a deep breath and really letting your mind just settle for a minute helps to calm your body so you can face the next thing that needs to be taken care of. Try doing something you enjoy, and maybe that's just like taking a walk outside. Um, Find something, maybe it's sewing or painting. Find something you enjoy and try doing that. You might try to talk to a friend, and it doesn't have to be about the stress. Just talking to a friend about everyday life or your hopes for the future, or maybe thinking about some memories can help you kind of refill that cup and make you better able to handle some stressful situations. You might consider taking a nap if you're able to do that. Naturally, your body will need more rest during this time. And so, giving yourself permission to take naps, even if that means you'll have to rearrange your schedule a little bit to do that. You may consider reading something for pleasure. I know it might be really tempting to read all of the what to expect type of reading materials, and sometimes that can add more stress because lots of people have opinions about babies and what you should do and what's best for them. You might consider just reading something for pleasure, not anything that has to do with the baby. And it doesn't have to be a book, it could be a blog or maybe a magazine or something short. There's even online short stories that just kind of help you maybe just mentally escape for a few minutes and let your mind go wherever that reading takes you. You could consider doing yoga. And again, YouTube has a lot of great videos, even for specifically prenatal yoga. So you can try to do things that are still comfortable for you. You might just do something simple like take a long shower. Oftentimes, we don't really think about showering. It's like a thing we have to get done so we can get on with our day. But just taking a long shower and kind of letting our body just relax and think, and even if we just listen to the water, can be calming. We want to increase the amount of water that we're drinking. You're probably feeling thirstier if you are expecting, and water is really good for your body, but it's also good for self care to just take some extra fluids in. Think about some healthy snacks. We don't often think about this, but sometimes junk food can actually add to like us feeling maybe blah or more tired. So thinking about some of those snacks that are good for us and help us feel good about our choices. And you can ask your doctor about some maybe healthy snack recommendations. You might just do something simple like listening to music. Um, and we're really lucky in this day and age that there's a lot of things, a lot of opportunities for us to listen to music. So it doesn't just have to be in the car, but maybe we can listen to it on our phone or TV, laptop, something like that. And then the last strategy here is to look at some pictures of happy times. So maybe it's going through some old photo albums, or maybe just scrolling through some pictures on your phone of some times where you felt happy. And even if you're not feeling that great right now, remembering those happy times can do a lot for our mental and physical health. If you are concerned about any of the signs or symptoms that you are feeling during this time when you're carrying a baby, definitely consult with your doctor. There's a lot happening with your body and a lot of changes happening fast. And don't be concerned about sharing certain things with your doctor, especially in regards to your mental health. A lot of things that are happening hormonally can make our feelings feel a bit different or us feel maybe more emotional. So, those things are generally fairly typical, and talking to your doctor about that can help you with maybe putting some of that at ease for you, or the doctor maybe giving you some interventions to help you be better able to cope with that. Here are some resources about prenatal stress if you want to know more about that. And I hope that you'll follow us on our YouTube channel. We have lots of videos there for caregivers about all types of social emotional wellness topics. And follow us on Facebook, CRC Infant and Early Childhood Connection. We share tips for caregivers every single day there. Thanks for watching.